What is the impact of user engagement metrics, such as bounce rate and time on site, on my rankings?
Good. Okay, so I mean, Google doesn't tell us specifically like what the numbers are, right? Hey, get this and you'll do better here. However, let's go back to the idea of, user experience, users and Google wanting users to be happy with the site. How does Google know if a user is happy on a site? Well, think about it. If you go to a website and let's say it takes forever to load, what do? You hit the back button, right? You go, I forget, I'm going to go find something else. What if it comes up on the page and you can't find the content you're looking for, or it doesn't, it's hard to interact with? What do? You leave, right? But if you come to a website and the content you're looking for is right there, and it's got like maybe some really good content that you decide to read through, maybe it's got a couple of really good, well-placed links within the content or call to action buttons to move you to the next page, and the next page kind of keep you engaged on the site. Well, wouldn't that say to you that that means that there's something valuable with your website? And so with analytics, especially since the majority of folks are using Google Analytics on their pages, it's easy for Google to see, even like on Chrome, right? If you're using Chrome and you're logged into your Chrome account, or if you're your mobile device, right? Because everybody, if you're using an Android device, you got to have a Google account. You're always logged into your Google account. So Google can see when you do a search, right? What link you've clicked on from within Chrome to get to that, and how quickly you've come back. And if you stay, they can see that too. If you have analytics, it's certainly possible they can see inside there. So here's the thing. If people only look at your one page of your website, only spend 30 seconds on average on your website, and bounce 85, 90% of the times they come to your homepage or whatever page they leave right away, well, those are indicators that your site's not likable. Something's not right. But if you change things and all of a sudden, people are now looking at, maybe by putting some more internal links within the content, maybe by putting more call to actions within the content that help people go to a second or a third page or a fourth page. Well, it means that there's some likability there. There's interaction. You're going to a second page. You're reading more. You're bouncing less. And so those three basic metrics, time on site, pages per visit or per session, and bounce rates, are good indicators of whether or not your site has something sticky about it, something that makes people want to hang out. Now, keep in mind, depending on the kind of business that you're in, you may or may not have a lot of this. Like if you're a news source for the most part, and a lot of the traffic you get comes from, let's say, social, like Twitter or Facebook, whatever, because people have posted there, well, odds are you're going to have a high bounce rate, because people are in Facebook or Twitter. They see a link, they click on it, maybe they look at it real quick, and they go back. They don't kind of continue on reading through stuff. They go back because they were just looking at what the article was about. So you'd expect bounce rate, but again, industry-wide bounce rate is probably high as well. If you're an e-commerce site, typically an e-commerce site is going to have people looking at more pages of a website. You typically maybe go to a home page. From there, you might wind up on a category page for a category you're looking for. And then from the category, you might go look at a particular product. You may even go back and look at the next product, go back and look at the next product. And if you do add a product to your cart, then you want to looking at your cart. Then you may want to go to the checkout area. So typically on an e-commerce site, you're going to have more pages than on, let's say, a news site, right? On a service-based site, again, you might see someone hitting a homepage or maybe a particular service area, a specific service themselves. Like maybe they land on the house washing services page, right? When they get there, they may click get a quote. They may look through here, maybe click on some of these other things here, like a click to call. They may see stuff in here. But the idea is, if I can get them to fill out the form, stick around, read through the content, maybe they're going to be looking at 2 or 3 pages, right? They look at the initial page, maybe they look at the quote page, then maybe they get to, or the contact us page, and maybe they get to a thank you page. So the idea is, can we make our site better so that people don't bounce as often, meaning they come to a page and leave without going to a second page, right? Can we make them spend a bit more time on the site, engaging with the site, like scrolling down, reading through things, making their content interesting enough that we want to kind of keep going through it? And can we make them look at multiple pages of our website? Can we get them from one page to a contact us page or whatever? Now, again, a lot of folks have these one long pages with everything on one page where, it's all one big long page. Okay, can you increase time on site? Can you increase engagement? Can you increase, pages per visit? Can you reduce the bounce rates and so on? Those three in particular are indicators that your site is liked, that people like it and they spend time on it. And while you're not going to be able to know everybody else's site and how they're doing, there are studies out there that kind of indicate, what's the average time people spend in this industry on a web page? What's the average bounce rate for this industry and so on? Take a look at what the averages are. And if the average is a 75% bounce rate for, I'm just making it up, automotive businesses, and you're at 95, you got a problem. If you're at 50, you're in a good place, right? So take a look at the time on site's a minute on average, and you're at 3 minutes on average, you're in a good place. If you're at 15 seconds, there's a problem, right? Is it a speed issue? What's causing this delay? And you got to look into that. Use analytics almost like a detective uses clues, right? The clues don't solve the problem. The clues may bring up more questions that need to be answered, but it's your job as a detective to figure out, why is this happening? What can I do to make this better, to fix it, to make it easier, to make things happen? So hopefully that answers the question. I know there's a lot there, but those should give you some basics as far as yes, those metrics matter. We don't know to what extent they matter, but if people are spending more time, leaving less often, less quickly, and looking at multiple pages, that means they like what they see. They're engaging with the site. They don't find it frustrating or annoying. They're continuing on, and that is a great thing to have. That's a good user experience. Continue to cultivate that.
And then you have people like me who at any given time, I probably have 200 tabs open over various browsers, and I'll go back to a web page and I'll read a couple more paragraphs, and then I might get back to it 3 days later and read a little bit more. It probably doesn't know what to make of me.
Yeah, there's certain things that can be, created to, like, for timeouts and things like the sessions and so on. I think when you come back, it's a new session. So there's sessions and there's traffic and user session. There's a couple of different, like, metrics that can be looked at. But just in general, right? Just as a general rule of thumb, if you can get people to stick around on your page longer, look at more pages, and bounce less often, you're going to be in a better place than somebody else that's not doing that, generally speaking. Now, again, you have to have great content. You have to have good quality links. You have to have good basic SEO and technologically sound system. You don't want to have a bunch of broken links. You don't want to have a bunch of redirect that are going to dead pages. You have to be technically sound as well. We do have some technical stuff in the All Stars as well. You can take a look at different things that need to be technical. I think we've got a technical thing coming up too in a few months, maybe, right? We're doing a technical SEO meetup, I think, down the line. But there's already some stuff in there you can look at for help with the technical stuff. Make sure that it's not causing a problem. And I know we have something coming up on Search Console on understanding the errors that you may see in Search Console. That's coming up as well. So keep an eye out for that, which is coming up in the next couple months.